Thank you for joining us for this sermon podcast from the Congregational Church of Needham, Massachusetts, United Church of Christ, where no matter who you are or where you are on life's journey, you're invited and welcome. Today's sermon for Sunday, October 4th, 2020, is entitled Creation Redeemed, Finding Our Salvation in a World Restored. It's the third in a three-part mini-series for the season of creation, considering God's creation and our place within it. If you enjoy this podcast and would like to learn more about our open and affirming ministries at the Congregational Church of Needham, simply head over to our website, www.needhamucc.org. Thank you. Hi, this is Reverend John Gage, the senior minister with the Congregational Church of Needham, United Church of Christ, and the preacher for this Sunday's sermon. After a fashion. In fact, most of this sermon was a chance for us to break into small groups and to talk about this question. When the world is redeemed, and us along with it, what will that feel like? How will it feel different from the way we relate to the world and to one another today? I reminded folks that we weren't looking for policy suggestions, but spiritual, emotional responses to God's salvation worked out in our lives, connected with the world around us and with our neighbors. Here's what our congregation said.
All right, welcome back into the room. And Reverend Maddie, I'm going to ask you to help be some eyes on the room to help us identify folks. So I'm going to call on the folks who volunteered to scribe. And if you would, I'm going to ask you to raise your hand there and keep it up. We're going to go with Dibby first, and then Judith will be next. And then we'll ask again. So let me spotlight you, Dibby. There you go.
Okay, we said that the way it would feel would be that we'd be living in harmony with nature and each other. We'd be using materials that are renewable. There'd be less plastic. Our bodies would feel better because we'd be eating a plant-based diet. We would have less worry because the things that cause us to worry wouldn't exist as much.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dibby. And your group as well. And so Judith, I'm going to spotlight you. And if you'll unmute. Okay. There you go.
Good morning. My group was Jim and Georgina and Nancy Lane and myself. And we felt like it would feel like a return to optimism. The feeling that when society has a problem, that we all work together to solve it. The way we solved problems of disease in the past and going to the moon, that we would work together, respect each other and creation, and support each other and work towards goals together and get rid of a lot of the polarity that we live with now, that we would live with joy and possibility.
Oh, that's a lovely image. Thank you so much. All right. Let's see. Someone else had their hand raised. We'll go with Martha Lamb and then Nancy St. Laurent. Martha, let me go ahead and spotlight you. You can unmute yourself. Nope, you're muted. There you go.
Can you hear me?
We can.
Okay. You said we would live with love and be joyful and have mutual acceptance. We would feel energized because how we live now takes so much energy and is so stressful. We would feel more connected and at peace. It feels far away now. We would feel hopeful.
Wonderful.
And this
Thank you,
was
Martha.
Brenda and Janet and Val and Greg. I think that was it.
Wonderful. Thank you all so much.
Mm-hmm.
Nancy St. Laurent, I think you had your hand up. Is that right? Let me go ahead and spotlight you. And you can unmute yourself.
There, am I there?
You are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
My group was Cece and Michael Boyd, and I'm sorry, I don't remember the other woman's name. Carol, I think. We had words. I'm very impressed with the first two and their what they came up with. We came up with relief and feeling hopeful and less anxious. Just wanted to feel good and be respectful and hope to feel calm and recentered and rooted.
Ooh,
And
rooted, good word.
rooted, I know. We would use meditation as a tool to kind of get ourselves there at the moment.
Wonderful.
That's it.
Thank you so much. Who's next? Dave, let me spotlight you over there. Dave Johnson. Carol?
I'm audible, hopefully. So we have single word elements that we feel will be amplified in our lives. And those are, our group was, by the way, Bob, Linda, Rich, Carol, and myself. And those elements that would be lifted up: unity, less anxiety, peace of mind, and wholeness, light and wisdom, caring and harmony, peace of mind, equality, empathy, reconciliation, and opportunity.
Amen. Amen. Thank you guys so much. Who else? Diane Reese, let me spotlight you, and then we'll go to Jody after that. Hold on one second. There we go, Diane.
Hi. Our group was the Slosser family and Connie with Bill and me. And the things that we thought we would feel and experience in this wonderful future, we would feel safe for our future and the future for our kids. We would have all human interactions would be warm and positive. Would be kind and tolerate others. We wouldn't have negative feelings, guilt, and negative feelings about each other. There would be good health for all, a just distribution of resources, so we'd feel like we had our share, and we would be able to tolerate necessary change. It would be change without trauma.
Ooh, that's a lovely phrase. Thank you for that one. I'm going to keep on with that one. All right. Thank you. Jody, I'll spotlight Jody, and then Betty Bloom, I think, next. Jody, there you are. You just need to unmute.
Hi. Our group was John and Barbara and Joan and myself. And we had a lot of the same words that the other groups had: feeling of being at peace, a feeling of love, joyousness. John drew a connection to the words of the hymn for this morning with the tree and everyone listening to each other. But the word that he mentioned specifically that I don't think other folks had in their list was astounded. And I think that's probably true, just being astounded. So
love it.
That
Thank
was
you so
our
much.
list.
Awesome. Let's see. Now, Betty Bloom, where's Betty? Hold on.
Okay.
Betty Bloom, there you are. See you. Let me spotlight you.
Well,
Go ahead.
Our group was Gretchen and Mia and Judith Stewart and myself, and I think that was all. And the first things were, as everyone else has said, filled with joy and peace. There would not be any more anxiety. There would be a greater equality, not the disparities we have now. But Mia spoke up and said, I think it would be confusing because it would be so different than anything we have known. And that was an interesting point brought up by our next generation. And some of us wondered if it might be a little boring because the challenges and the things that we go out and confront every day have to do with what's wrong. So if everything was right, that also was brought up. but we all agreed that it would be mainly a time filled with joy, peace, and a lack of anxiety.
Thank you so much. Kathy Carpenter, and then Rob Dunleavy. And I think that may be it. I see Maggie over there too. So we'll get those folks. So Kathy Carpenter.
Our group was Sumi, Claudia, Rain, Carla, Jeannie, and me. To start, actually this was settled, but it was a good start. It feels so far away from where we are now. Everyone and everything would look and feel healthy. It would be a great feeling of peace and the energy of joyful health. We would not feel fear or anxiousness. We'd be more connected rather than alone. We would come to expect good, and we would have hope instead of dread.
Ooh, good words. Thank you for that. Rob Dunleavy or Stephanie Alderson, I'm not sure who is there, but well, there you go.
So our group was the Gottwalls, Phil Lynn, and the Busby family, and Christy and her baby, who contributed a little bit. And I'll start with Christy's had a lot of the points we've all mentioned, we mentioned in our group as well, about connection, about no fear. But Christy suggested that everyone would be rewarded fairly for their work. And everybody's work, whatever it would be their sort of dream job. And that sounds trivial, but imagine if it were true. The connection, everyone would feel valued and valuable. Privilege, as we experience it now, in a sense, would be extended to all people. So imagine if you can project out to that. We'd be calm, we'd be serene, there'd be serenity sort of pervading life. We'd feel connected, and because we would share resources, fear would be lessened to almost being non-existent. And the kids said there would just be less pressure.
Amen for that. Thank you so much. And now Maggie, where's Maggie? There you go. I believe you get the last word on this point. So spotlight you, there you go.
So we said it feels like we're really living in a biblical moment right now, but people are communing more with nature than in years, which actually feels very hopeful. So we said in an ideal world, we would be able to reconcile the contradictory behaviors and ideas between people respectfully. We'd be more loving, we'd include everyone. The line from the text this morning, nor will they bear children doomed to misfortune. Everyone should have the ability to make personal choices that are the best for their children. And I'd just like to add from myself, I think beauty should belong to everyone. Everyone should have the right to a view of the Milky Way, the joy of bird song, the nice clean smell of the morning air. These are things that that should really not be things only people with a certain income can purchase, because they can live in certain areas.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much for that. Well, friends, that has, as you might imagine, that has taken longer than I had planned for, and that is fine because you did amazing work. So we were going to rearrange the rest of our service. We're going to say thank you so much to Maggie and to Val for recording our second hymn, but we are going to save that for another day. I'm going to ask you to go ahead and type your prayers into the chat window anytime through the rest of the service, and we're going to send that out as part of our follow-up email to allow folks to share our worship experience with us this morning and allow us to go back and reflect on it. So this community will continue to pray those prayers. Jenny Haynes, I'm sorry. Thank you for somebody for reminding me. It is hard to see on all of these little windows. Where are you, Jenny? There you are. There. Bring us home. And unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, Jenny. There you go.
Yes, so I was waving throughout, but you didn't see me, so here I am. Thank you, whoever pointed it out. So I had Carol, Miller, Cy, and Charmin in my group. And the first comment was that people can't be considerate of nature if they're not considerate of each other. So hopefully we can bring that around, or maybe being considerate of nature will make people more considerate. The other feeling was that peace and acceptance of the structure of the universe, that we should have peace and acceptance of the structure of the universe with us as a part of it. And then Charmin joined our group and told us about Mia's comment about saying that she would feel confused because it's so unlike anything that we have had experience with. So that was basically all we got to in our group. Thank you for all the other comments. They were wonderful.
Amen. Thanks to everybody out there.